Well, glad to see that you actually clicked on this video for sure, and well, I guess given for the fact that I do have my Nerf gun in my hand, to which, yeah, by the way, this is in fact a Nerf gun, as you can see. I think you can pretty much see where I'm going at with, of course, this one, so okay, yeah, I guess I might as well set that aside, so yeah. So yeah, no more messing around, I might as well get right to it, so yeah. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and well, it looks like, if you did actually recall it, of course, a few videos ago, we're now officially in the month of September as of now, and whoa boy, it looks like this year is actually flying by much faster than we expected for sure, so but yeah, I guess, anyways, I think seeing of how we're now in the month of September as of now, seeing of how I finally got all the movies during the month of August out of the way, I think it makes sense to start a brand new month off properly with, of course, well, a brand new batch of movies that I'm actually gonna be seeing for sure. And luckily for this one in particular, I think it pretty much makes sense, of course, that front for sure, because, yeah, truth be told, we actually do have a really good one to actually talk about for sure. And I do mean, like, a really good one for sure, so, yeah, I think it's what I could say, of course, the front for sure. Looks like I'm actually starting this month off properly with, of course, another movie that just came out for sure, and yeah, I guess a lot of you guys are wondering what did I actually go see for today. Well, believe it or not, I think for today's movie that I'm officially talking about here today, we're actually going to be talking about the latest installment of a now trilogy for sure that, believe it or not, actually stars well-known actor Denzel Washington. Yeah. I guess you can pretty much see where I'm going at for sure, and it's actually quite interesting the more I think about it for sure, because if anything, I think it's probably, the first time I would actually talk about something that involves Denzel Washington in a role for sure. And boy, it looks like it's really tough to go through all of his movies, because he actually has appeared in some really good ones for sure. I do mean, like, really good ones for sure, so yeah. And of course, for today's movie that I actually got to go see, pretty much it's not only on that category, but it's actually the latest installment in a pretty much a trilogy that Denzel Washington is in that, ironically enough, is, to me, a little bit underrated. Yeah. Yeah, you heard it right there, folks. Me calling the latest movie the latest installment of a movie trilogy that has Denzel Washington underrated? Who would have thought it would come to this? But yeah, I guess you can see where I'm going at, but in case you are quite curious, I'm of course going to be talking about the latest movie that had just came out very recently that I have the privilege to go see as of now, which is none other than The Equalizer 3. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I'm talking about here today. It is of course the latest movie that just came out, and of course it does star Denzel Washington for sure, and of course, it is the latest installment in, of course, pretty much a whole trilogy of movies that we've been getting for, quite frankly, nearly a decade now, which is, of course, the Equalizer trilogy for sure, and of course, it is, of course, also loosely based around the TV series of the same name, The Equalizer, to which, wow. Talk about too many chefs in the kitchen, of course, this one, because, yeah, looks like it's crammed a whole lot, but yeah, either way, The Equalizer 3 is, of course, what I'm talking about here today for sure, so So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, before I can go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think it makes sense to do a quick little sum up on things before I can dive right into the newest one. And to me, I think I never actually knew about the Equalizer around the time for sure. In fact, I never actually saw the original show for sure, but hey, based on my research, I think I do know it qualifies, and of course, probably this whole spy, thriller, noir type of genre for sure, to which is actually quite interesting for sure, and I don't think I've actually heard anyone talk about it for sure. In fact, I actually never actually knew about its existence for sure, but it is quite fascinating the more I think about it for sure, So yeah, and of course, when it comes to the movies, for sure, pretty much both Equalizer 1 and 2, yeah, pretty much in preparation for, of course, this newest one, I actually did watch the first 2 Equalizer movies to get myself prepared for, of course, this one. And yeah, as I stated, it actually does star Denzel Washington for sure, to which yeah, I mean, no big surprise, of course, that front. I do think Denzel Washington is, of course, a really talented actor for sure, and has actually appeared in some really good movies for sure. So, of course, when it comes to the first 2 Equalizer movies that I got to watch beforehand, well, personally, to me, I think they're fine enough flicks for what they are. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're the strongest movies that has Denzel Washington by far, but I do think they are decent enough flicks for sure. Mixed in with some pretty good action for sure, to which, yeah, I actually was fascinated by. I do think pretty much the movies themselves are alright, but the action is what really sold me by far. It is just absolutely incredible for sure, so yeah, I think it's what I can say for, of course, the first 2 Equalizer movies in a nutshell for sure, and of course, in regards to the 3rd installment, while seeing how I did already come out of seeing the first 2 movies beforehand, I've actually decided to give the 3rd one a fair shot to see how it'll fare up, and of course, believe it or not, they actually did pretty much advertise this as being the 3rd and final installment in, of course, the Equalizer trilogy for sure, and quite an interesting one for these movies to go out on for sure. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get myself in to see the newest one, seeing how I did come out of seeing the first 2 films beforehand, and yeah, now that I've actually got back from, of course, seeing it earlier today, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I got the chance to see it? Well, I guess, believe it or not, I think compared to, of course, the first 2 films from what I've actually seen, I actually do think The Equalizer 3 is actually a pretty good movie. Yeah, I'm not joking when I say it for sure. I do think this movie is actually really good for sure. And of course, in comparison to, of course, the first 2 films that came out beforehand, I actually do think the 3rd movie is probably the strongest one they've actually put out by far. And yeah, seeing of how they did advertise it as the final installment of course, this trilogy, I say they really end things off with a pretty good bang for sure. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. I actually do think The Equalizer 3 is actually a really good movie for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, I think now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I think I might as well go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about with, of course, this movie, which for starters is, of course, the story, and of course, from what I've actually seen, I do think the story in this movie is actually really nicely done for sure. It's very straightforward, and actually actually got me engaged with, of course, what goes on for sure. And again, in comparison to, of course, the first two films, I think they actually started to branch out and try to do something new and different for sure, to which I have to say is, of course, brilliantly well done for sure. And I think this movie really took things to an all-new level for sure, in a way that I really do admire in its entirety, to which, yeah, I've actually got myself fully engaged with, of course, what goes on for sure, and yeah, it really does deliver on, of course, what it has to offer for sure, to which, yeah, I guess actually does result in, of course, something really, really quite clever for sure, So yeah, I guess if anything, that's pretty much what I can say for, of course, the story for, of course, this movie for sure, and of course, for the film's writing, I have to say, well, to me, I don't think it's actually the best in terms of what I've seen with, of course, the film's writing, nor even that terrible by all means, but I actually do think the writing is actually pretty decent enough for sure. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, they could have used, like, maybe a little rewrite here or there for sure, but, yeah, and of course, some key moments, and it do kind of fell flat for sure, but the rest I still think did turn out fine for sure, so yeah, not really the best for sure, but hey, I do think the film's writing, I have to say, is actually pretty decent enough, in my opinion, to which I do think is passable, to say the least, for sure, so yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front for sure, so, but yeah, pretty much what you expect entirely for sure. I think those two, yeah, I do think the story is, of course, very straightforward and got me fully engaged, while the writing, I have to say, I just kind of felt was passable, to say the least, and it's just okay, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. Probably should finish that. There we go. Okay, so now that I've actually got those two out of the way, I think I might as well go ahead and move on to, of course, well, the next things I need to talk about for sure, which I guess, if anything, we might as well talk about the characters and yeah, I guess to me, I do think the characters in, of course, this movie for sure, I do think they actually are very engaging, and I do find myself actually carrying them for sure, and of course, I do find myself getting really, really invested with, of course, what goes on with all of them, and pretty much a good number of them actually has a really great sense of development, and of course, most of the ones that we actually came to know, and of course, the first two films have actually grown for sure since the last time we've actually seen them for sure, and yeah, I really do like it when really good sequels to movies actually do that for sure. You actually do see the characters grow for sure, and that's something I actually really do admire in, of course, this movie. I think they really dig exactly that for sure, and I actually am fully engaged on, of course, that front for sure, So yeah, I guess either way, the characters, I have to say, they are really likable and interesting for what they are, and I actually really do admire them for sure, So yeah, and of course, for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, well, I guess for what it is, I actually really do admire on how well casted this movie is, and all the actors that came on board, yeah, they actually did pull off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's not really Oscar-worthy, in my opinion, but I actually do think the performances in this movie are actually really good for sure, and yes, by the way, I couldn't get enough of course, Denzel Washington in this movie. He actually does make his character, Robert McCall, actually work well for sure, and I actually really do admire, of course, how much he's actually grown since the first two movies, hands down, and And yeah, that to me actually makes it all the more engaging in my opinion to make it actually very, very convincing for sure to make me want to actually experience more of it for sure, just to see what goes down, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say for, of course, those two in general. I do think they are actually really, really, really good to me. Yeah, not really the best, but actually done pretty well for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so now that I've actually got those out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, a whole lot for sure, so yeah, I guess for starters, it is, of course, yeah, I can see how this is a Equalizer movie for sure. I think the one thing that comes into, of course, on my mind when it comes to these movies is, of course, the action, and my God, they deliver well, of course, the action for sure. Everything from what I've actually seen is actually choreographed quite well for sure, and I actually really do admire, of course, what goes on for sure. So yeah, everything from, of course, the incredible fight scenes that goes on, and even pretty much the way pretty much they showcase the amount of blood and all of the people getting killed to, of course, earn that hard R rating is actually really, really convincing to me. And I do think this movie really did a fine job, and of course, doing exactly that for sure. So yeah, and of course, it also ties in brilliantly to, of course, both the tone and atmosphere that goes on with, of course, this movie for sure. And yeah, I think that's something I also do admire in, of course, the first two movies, hands down. I do love the way they mix things up a bit with the film's tone and atmosphere to make it all the more edgy and stuff to which, yeah, I think actually works well for sure. And this movie really did deliver on, of course, that front entirely. So yeah, I think it's what I can say for, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, and of course, the direction in this movie by the film's director, well, I guess to me, again, much like the film's screenplay, I actually do think the direction in this film is okay at best. Not really the best I've actually seen directing-wise. In fact, I know the director of this film has actually done much better work beforehand for sure, but hey, I do think his direction in this movie is, again, pretty passable to say the least. Could have been a whole lot more to what I was expecting, but it is fine for what it is for sure. So yeah, that's what I could say, and of course, that front for sure. And of course, I really do admire on how well shot in this movie is, as of course, the cinematography in this movie is actually pretty done, yeah, pretty much done very well for sure. And yeah, I think with, of course, what I've actually seen, they really did bring in some really good camera shots to me to actually help make this movie work. And I think they, again, did a fine job, and of course, doing exactly that. And I also do love on how well cut up this movie is through, of course, pretty good editing, I have to say for sure. Pretty much could have done a whole lot more to make it all the more pitch perfect, but hey, I still think they really did cut up this movie quite well entirely for sure. So yeah, I guess with, of course, all that combined for sure, yeah, I think it actually does help, of course, delivering, of course, what this movie gave us, and for it to serve as, of course, the final installment to, of course, this trilogy for the time being, they really let this movie go out with, of course, a really good bang for sure, to which, yeah, I have to say, they did a really fine job, and of course, doing exactly that, and really is something that that is not only brilliantly well done, but also leaving the door open for, of course, pretty much what comes the way after this one big massive epilogue for sure. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, I guess with all that combined, that pretty much sums up on how much I really like this movie for sure, and for good reason, so yeah, I guess overall, The Equalizer 3 is of course a pretty nice and yet pretty well done, action-packed flick that I actually really do admire for sure. It's got everything, of course, what I would expect for sure, and it actually does deliver, of course, what's been given to us rather pretty well for sure. Do I think it's one of the best movies I've actually seen by far? No, not particularly, but do I think it's good? Abso-freaking-lutely, entirely, so yeah, I really don't think this movie is probably the best I've seen this year, but I do think it is actually a really good one for sure. But again, if I were to compare this movie to the first two Equalizer movies that came out before, I do think the third film is probably the strongest one they've actually put out for sure, and yeah, why it actually took these people who made these movies so long to finally get a good one, as of course the first two are just decent at best. I would never know, of course, that front for sure. Maybe I assume it might be a time sort of thing to get what they need worked out for sure, but hey, I'm glad they took their time to actually do exactly that, and yeah, it does deliver, of course, a pretty nice flick entirely, So, yeah, I guess if anything, I actually do recommend this movie hands down for sure. Again, I don't really think it's one of the best I've actually seen by far, but I do think it is actually a really good movie that leaves you action-packed and, of course, really leaving you on the edge of your seat by far for sure, so yeah. I say if you got the time, definitely check this movie out for sure. You're probably not going to get pretty much almost everything that you would expect for sure, but for, of course, this being the last of the Equalizer movies to complete this entire trilogy, I do think that they made the right call on, of course, that front, and this movie really did end on a good enough bang for sure, so yeah. I say this is definitely well worth checking out for sure, alongside the first two movies if you haven't already seen them for sure. You may be missing out on a whole lot, but hey, I'm sure you could get something quite interesting for sure, and I think that is, of course, probably the best way I can actually describe this movie overall for sure, so yeah, and of course because of that, yes, I am definitely proud to say that I'm definitely going to give Equalizer 3 a 7.5 out of 10 as my final score for sure. Again, not really the best I've actually seen by far, but it is actually a really good enough flick for what it is, and really does deliver, of course, what you would expect for sure, so yeah, definitely well worth checking out in the end, and yeah, pretty much of anything, I say this might be a good time for sure for you to actually see it for yourself. I mean, yeah, I think you probably won't get much from my perspective, but for what it is, I do think they really did the job fine for sure. So yeah. Like I said, if you got the time, definitely see this movie for yourself. Trust me when I say you won't be disappointed by it. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, I guess on that thought, that'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, by all means, I must go ahead and ask, what do you think of The Equalizer 3? If you have already seen it for sure, do you think it actually is brilliantly well done, or do you just absolutely despise it, or are you somewhere in between where you think it's alright, much like all the other flicks? So yeah, definitely let me know in the comment section below for sure. I would definitely love to know on what you guys thought about it for sure, So yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, I guess I got a lot to do for, of course, this entire month for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, my next movie won't be within about a few weeks for sure. But hey, I'm sure I could probably bridge the gap with, of course, other things I got planned for sure, just to help keep things occupied for sure. And yeah, I've pretty much got a whole lot for sure, so I'll be sure to do exactly that for sure. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, Ackley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as joining our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and plenty more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and showing support to me on both of my wish lists on Amazon and Right Stuff Anime, and even supporting me with my link on Streamlabs that you can find on my Twitch page. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.